So it's raining, and you might hear a little bit of rain noise. If you do, just disregard it or take it as a really relaxing ambient sound. Hi, I'm LauraSlate. I write sci-fi and fantasy for LGBTQIA plus young adults, and today I'm going to talk about what my first draft taught me. My first draft is such a mess, and to make it even more embarrassing, I put it all on Wattpad. It did okay on Wattpad, and I think it's still ranked, but when I go back and reread some parts, I just want to crawl in a hole. So here are some of the things that my first draft taught me. Plot, outline, and plan. I thought I was a pantser, but I was actually just being kind of lazy. I thought my characters would have better ideas than me, and they did most of the time, but after my first draft I realized that I should have taken on the role as more of a guide. Now I do plot and outline, and I leave a little bit of room for my characters to do something unexpected. I know that when I'm writing a chapter, chances are I'll have a discovery, so something that I didn't have on my outline already will kind of come up just naturally. It's just something weird that happens when I write. It's just maybe subconscious, I don't know. It's really cool though, and usually those ideas are awesome. So I modify my plot a little bit as I go. But I know at the same time that my characters will end up in the right spot. Know your ending. I cannot stress how important it is to know how your story is going to end. For my first draft, I had multiple point of views from the third person and lots of settings. I had characters spread all across the universe with their own motives, their own agendas. There were so many moving parts, and it ended up being kind of a train wreck. In the rewrites, I have so much work to do, and that all could have been avoided if only I had planned an ending. Social life, what's that? When I was writing my first draft, I wanted to seclude myself and not get out of the house, like, at all. Now that just might be because I'm an introvert and I don't really like people that much. For the 9 months it took me to write my first draft, I probably went out like once a week at a scheduled time, and we did the same thing every week, and it kind of made my partner stir crazy. She is an extrovert. She loves going out and talking to people. I wanted to stay inside and work on my first draft because I was obsessed with it. It was all I wanted to talk about or think about or do. Nothing else could compare. And it was like my precious. Little did I know that within 2 years I was going to be sick of freaking looking at it. So make time to do other things besides writing. You can't make it everything because your mental health might start to deteriorate, and you don't want to get burnt out. Know your genre. I loved sci-fi and fantasy books, but had pretty much only read them for pleasure. I hadn't really analyzed them. Had I done this, it would have saved a lot of genre issues that I had with my first draft, because what started out as strictly sci-fi got pretty fantasy along the way. I had to figure out how to blend the two with my style so that it would all kind of make sense. Research. Whether you're writing sci-fi and fantasy, romance, mystery, thriller, any of that, there will be things that you will need to know about for your book. So if you have a person who makes donuts as their job, you might want to know how to make donuts. If you've done a plot or an outline, chances are you'll know the kind of things that you need to start looking up and researching before you get to that part in your draft. Because if you have to stop and look things up every time you have a question, that's going to slow you down quite a bit. Write with a purpose. I'm talking about that moment when you sit down and start to write, and you end up writing 2 paragraphs over 3 hours. How does this kind of thing happen? Editing and perfectionism. I've recently started doing word sprints for NaNoWriMo, and I found them to be super helpful and effective. It's killing me that I didn't use this method in my first draft, because it took me 9 months, and had I been doing sprints for that time, it probably would have taken me 2 or 3 months. I was just ambling through my draft, taking my sweet time, waiting for inspiration. It was agonizing not getting a lot of work done, and had I only been sprinting, I would have been done so much faster. For me, it's really effective. It might not be effective for you, but at least try it and see if it helps. Sprints are a great way to turn off that inner editor and just get the words on the freaking page. Embrace the suckage. Yes, your first draft will suck. First drafts just do. But the cool thing is that it can be fixed. At least you have a first draft that you can work on. While writing my first draft, I would write a chapter, read it, think, this is garbage, delete it, and rewrite it. Do you know how many chapters I did that on? All of them. All of the chapters. It wasn't even what happened that I was unhappy with, it was the prose part of it. Which is really dumb because I could have rewritten and fixed all the prose in my rewrites. And not as I was writing the first draft. Oh my god, it slowed me down. And I would think, I have no idea what I'm doing. And I was right, because I didn't have any idea what I was doing, and the simple act of writing my first draft was teaching me the things that I would need to know for the second one. And I'm only going to get better. I can't get worse, right? Read. I didn't do much reading while working on my first draft. I wanted to keep my voice crystal clear in my head. But the thing is, if you're in the early stages of writing, you probably don't have much of a voice. And the way that you're going to find your voice is by reading or listening to audiobooks of authors that inspire you. And you can pick up things that you like and disregard things that you don't like about their writing style. You'll start to develop your own. And read a variety of stuff. If you're doing sci-fi, don't just read sci-fi. Read romance or horror, because you never know what will speak to you and what will become part of your style. I had a great time talking to y'all about my first draft and what it taught me. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below or tweet me. I'm at Laura_Slate. If you have a suggestion for any more videos, please let me know in the comments below or in a tweet. My social media links are below as well. Make today the best day of your life, and don't forget to love yourself even when it seems hard. Bye!